Number one, thank you for your time. Your bracket right now, Gabriella's bracket, she says it's busted. I say that it's not busted until one of your Final Four teams is out. How is yours looking so far?
You want to know something extremely funny about that? I have been so nonstop. I haven't even gotten to make my bracket.
Oh no,
so
Colby!
I am bracketless, Colby, going into this March, and I feel like sometimes this might be my route from now on because I feel like now I don't have expectations. I don't have to like grit at the TV, like just hoping that my team wins. So
we've been having a competition on if you are team one bracket or team fill out multiple brackets. So are you team 0 or you're team 1?
Actually, that's good. You guys can start saying the Colby special is bracket 0, but if I had to pick, it's one bracket. You only get one chance. I'm like, multiple, that just makes it not fun.
It's cheating with multiple.
Thank you.
Cheating. Okay, so that's another. I think the one bracketers are winning, Gerhard.
The thing is about so my thought process is on this is that you can still have, for example, let's just say you have one bracket. Let's say you have mini brackets. You can still be married to your one. That one can be the one that's like the one of integrity, the one that like you stand by, and then you have the others that are like for fun, just so you have something to root for, just in case your other one, busts out on you.
And then I hear you.
Then you can have one for like,
I'm still team 1.
Still team 1. This is no good.
So I like the pitch, but I'm sticking with 1 too.
I like it. All right, Colby, let's talk big picture here with your boys in Big Blue Nation. Of course, making the NCAA tournament is great for a lot of different programs. That's not enough for Big Blue Nation. Now that you're here, though, with a chance, just like everybody else, has a chance to win 6 games and ready to go, what's the overall mentality like for the guys as they now reset in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think the mentality for this team is what it's always been for this program, to win, to go far in the tournament. Like you said, that is the expectation here. This fan base does not care that you're in round 1. They don't care about any of that. The expectation is to win. So I think this team's mindset is kind of, talking in their press conferences, they've talked about just continuing the fight as they've done all season long. I think that's somewhat of something they put on their back is, that comeback team. And they're definitely carrying that into St. Louis tomorrow against Santa Clara. But I don't think they're even considering how their regular season went and conference went. I think it's just a full slate. And I think they truly believe that they have a shot at winning, as any team does.
Colby, I do want to look back at the SEC tournament because the Wildcats, they went 2-1. They beat LSU, Missouri, and then ultimately lost to Florida. When I look at this, I kind of feel like it was a win for Kentucky in a way. Obviously, that was a really good Florida team that they lost to. How do you feel like they felt about the tournament, and where is their mentality now?
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely think, like you said, it was a win for them. I mean, it's been hard just to get one win out of Nashville for this team in the past. So I think to go in there, get 2 pretty solid wins. I think they played collectively and well from start to finish. That's also something that's been lacking. So to see them get those 2 wins and do it in a good, positive way, and then still compete against Florida. I mean, they've lost to Florida. They've been swept by Florida this season. However, they've always fought until the very end, and that's arguably one of the best teams in the country, as everyone knows. So I think that was big for them, and certainly something that they are hoping to build on going into the big dance.
Colby, one of the big things about any NCAA tournament is the fact that every team has, most teams, especially the good ones, they have a star. They have one guy they can go to. We talked about Otega Oweh all season. I feel like the pressure was it's not his fault that he was voted the preseason player of the year, but he was voted by the coaches as the preseason player of the year. I think that he lived up to what you would expect a star player to do. How much does that pressure ratchet up now that you're in a Kentucky uniform in the big dance, when I feel like there are so many of the Kentucky greats who've all made their name in this part of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think for any athlete, and specifically Otega, I think the further you get in your season, the further you get in the tournament, and the bigger things become, the pressure, of course, continues to build. And so I'm sure he goes into this tournament feeling that pressure on his back, but we've seen so far this season that's nothing that he can't handle. And also, too, I think other people go into it with some pressure as well. They actually call them the 3-headed goat between Colin, Chandler, Denzel, and Otega. And I think the 3 of them collectively, honestly, feel the pressure and knowing, hey, we got to play every single game. There's no option to have a down game at this point in the season. So I think Ortega definitely feels that, but I do believe Denzel and Colin are right there behind him.
Do you feel like when Ortega is having an off game, or, you know, he's not scoring as many points as you're used to seeing, is that when this team tends to struggle?
That's actually a really good question, and a point that a lot of people make. Sometimes when Ortega is struggling, it then almost becomes hero ball, and everybody just tries to do their one-on-one and just try and goes and make a play, and it's not collective basketball. They're not sharing the basketball. I mean, they're each taking 20 dribbles a possession. So to your point, yes, when Ortega struggles, like any team, when your star player's not playing well, you struggle. But I will say it feels like when Ortega struggles personally, he then turns into not playing team basketball, and we've seen that also be an issue in the regular season as well.
Yeah, taking a look at some of his numbers, it feels, and I think that when Patrick created this graphic, I feel like the words he used seem appropriate. It's roller coaster. It's up and down. How concerning is that? Or do you find that Mark Pope can kind of push the right levers to make to where he is in a right mental space to be able to put this together for 3 weeks?
Oh, that's tough. I feel like it's always concerning because at the end of the day, a coach can say so much. Mark Pope can give him the best halftime speech, the best pregame speech, but it's the players that got to go out there and do it. And so it's going to fully be on Ortega to show up. And for him personally, it's big because this is his last go before he tries to make his dreams come true and go to the NBA. So for him, this is a big moment to see where these NBA teams see him mentally, physically, all the above. And so I think this trip around the sun in this tournament, it's going to be all on Ortega for himself to play well.
Well, the men is not the only one in the NCAA tournament for Kentucky. You also have a women's team playing in the big dance, and they're gearing up to face JMU. Give us your overall thoughts of that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, actually, this matchup has a lot of history because Kenny Brooks, actually, his alma mater is James Madison. He was an assistant coach there. He played there, head coach there. So he knows this culture, this program, this fan base all too well. So I think that definitely adds some more fun going into this one, but I think it's going to be an exciting matchup. Kenny Brooks and the team talked, I think it was yesterday, and just said, look, we're going to West Virginia, and we're just going to make things about us. Obviously, you got to scout and do your job with the other opponent, but I think so far they're really focusing on themselves, and that's honestly what they've done all season long.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Claire Strachan and what she's been able to do. Just like with Ortega Owe, what are some of the expectations that Big Blue Nation has for her as she comes in?
Yeah, it's honestly the same. How it is for Ortega is the same for Clara Strack. She can't have an off game. That's just not an option for an elite player like her. And I'm sure everyone heard about it, but Coach Brooks talked to her right after the Auburn game in the regular season and told her like he was the worst superstar that he's ever coached.
Oh, wow.
And right after that, it clicked in her brain and she took off after that. So she knows that she goes into this tournament carrying a lot, but she has, for this team to be good, she has to play well. That's just the bottom line.
Absolutely. What are maybe in your thought process some reasonable expectations for the squad as they go into this next phase of the NCAA tournament, and also understanding how many elite SEC teams there are, just trying to balance both worlds of good expectations vis-a-vis your seeding, but also the league and the region they're in? Yeah,
with this team, it sounds kind of crazy, but I do really think they can go far. You know me, I don't always like putting a cap on things.
Yeah.
I would love to see them reach the Sweet 16. I think that's doable for this group because you talk about those other opponents in the SEC. Kentucky hung with all those tough opponents. They hung with South Carolina. Texas was a little bit of a different story in there, but South Carolina was a team they competed against from start to finish, kind of how the men's team did with Florida. So I think if they can just learn how to finish games, because that's always been the problem for this group, if they can just finish games, they could go as far as they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Colby, I know you didn't officially fill out a bracket, but if you were to have for the men's and the women's, I know you just said probably Sweet 16 for the women's, but give us your official pick for men's and women's, how far they go.
Ooh. Okay. I have the men going to round 2. I think they'll probably meet. I think they'll meet Iowa State, and I don't see them getting past past them. With the women, I'm giving them Sweet 16. I think they can get it done.
Nice, nice. And that, I guess that's a matchup.
Don't come after me and spare me if this is so off. Okay.
I mean, that would be a nice road because the Sweet 16 will be a matchup, I think, with Texas. So a win here, a win over maybe West Virginia in that next round, and then I think that's reasonable expectations.
I do too. Do you feel like Kentucky fans will be content with that?
For the men, absolutely not. For the women, yes. It's a double standard for sure. But women, I think Kenny Brooks, he gets there. Absolutely. That's a good season to be in. But you talk about the men only getting to round one. That is never going to be okay here in Lexington.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Colby, so thank you so much for your time, your patience with us here on Southeast Sports Plus. You're the absolute best. Enjoy Big Blue Nation. Enjoy a great tournament.
You sure will. You guys have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Colby Wilson joining us there from